All right, man. What a perfect segue to have a debut video on my sports-related channel, GMOG Sports TV, to talk about Deontay Wilder, Deontay the Bronx Bomber Wilder, our Black American heavyweight champion, meeting with Clockwork Orange, the face of white supremacy, the face of alt-right, the Mr. I'm gonna take a picture with black person, right, for photo op purposes, for, you know, political posturing. I'm gonna use this black person as a political pawn. I'm gonna hand black people crumbs, butter biscuits, leftovers, because y'all ain't shit. Y'all see this right here? We're still on the bottom of the totem pole. The average black family, 228 years to amass wealth compared to a white family. Single mothers, black single mothers, continue to give birth to children out of wedlock from 72% to 77%. But yet, a posthumous pardon of Jack Johnson, the first heavyweight African-American champion, right? And rest in peace to him. You know, if you don't know about Jack Johnson, read his biography. You know, of course, you know, during that time, that was the Jim Crow era where there was overt white supremacy, and he still became the first black heavyweight champion of the world. But I'm gonna pull no punches here. You know, the man, you know, the man got in trouble because he was with the white woman. He was with the white woman. The white supremacists did not like that, and he got in trouble for that. You know, he got in trouble for that. So that's what that's all about. And you know, him being locked up and him being in prison and stuff like that, there were talks throughout the years since George W. Bush. There's been talks to do a presidential pardon. At this time it will be a posthumous pardon for somebody who's deceased, as Jack Johnson. A posthumous pardon, and it went from George W. Bush. Obama was supposed to do it, he didn't do it, and now Clockwork Orange, aka Donald Trump, took advantage of that. All because of Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone put a bug in in Clockwork Orange's ear, because he didn't give a damn about no damn Jack Johnson. You know. Here's the thing, like I said before in the introduction of my video. Black people, we love symbolic victories. We love crumbs. We love insignificant things. That does not mean anything in the totality of black people. So you're doing a pardon for someone deceased. What does that do for social injustices that are happening every day collectively as a group to black people? No matter how much money you have, no matter what your social, political, economical status you have, we are still at the bottom of the totem pole in every statistical category you can think of. Right? Black men, women, and children are getting gunned down by race soldiers on a daily basis. You look at here, people have been shot and killed by police in 2018. Look at this database. You classify this by race? Black people, 85 have been gunned down by race soldiers. 85, and we're supposedly 13% of the population, right? So we have a high propensity of getting shot and killed by race soldiers in comparison to other ethnic groups. So again, how does you giving a pardon to Jack Johnson solve the atrocities that black people have been facing for over 500 years since the inception of the transatlantic slave trade? How? See, you know, And I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan. Big Deontay Wilder fan. You know, and he's supposed to be woke too. He's supposed to be conscious and know his roots, know his African roots. He traces ancestry to I believe Nigeria. I believe his father has ties to Africa, or grandfather, whatever the case may be. So him aligning himself with a known overt white supremacist like Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange, and having somebody like Sylvester Stallone putting a bug in Donald Trump's ear because the WBC, you know, Mauricio Sulaiman was there, and as you can see, Lennox Lewis was there. This was all posturing. Here's, like I said, this is, black people love symbolic victories, man. What does this mean collectively for black people? Mauricio Sulaiman said this was a victory for humanity. A victory for humanity. A victory for humanity. Oh, not because our ancestors suffered from free labor, overt racism, disenfranchisement, marginalized, subjugated, executed for over 500 years, and we still have not been rewarded with a monetary gain from those atrocities, aka reparations, compared to other ethnic groups, the so-called Native Americans, right? They got their reparations. The Asian community, they got their reparations for their atrocities. The Jewish community, they got their reparations for their atrocities. But yet our ancestors, black people, who worked for free, and this country was built on the backs of our ancestors for free. The slave trade was a multi-billion-dollar business. And the fact that it was a multi-billion-dollar business, that it set up the dominant white society, their families, going back to this statement here, it set up their families compared to a black family 228 years ahead of us in terms of family wealth. The dominant white society family wealth is 228 years ahead of the black family wealth because of slavery. Right? But yet you have Deontay Wilder, who says, you know what? This is a good thing. This is a good thing because I'm representing the Jack Johnson family, and I'm going to shake this man's hand for doing a good thing for the Jack Johnson family in boxing. That's how he sees it. That's how Deontay Wilder sees it. Not knowing, again, that you're being used as a political pawn. You shaking that man's hand is going to be remembered forever. So he has children. His children are going to see a photo of him shaking Donald Trump, aka Clockwork's orange hand. The same man who called NFL players sons of bitches. The same man who said those alt-right racist white supremacists are good people. Right? The same man that said our brothers and sisters from Caribbean countries like Haiti and Africa are from shithole countries. Right? The same man that uses black people for photo ops and political posturing. That's all that was. That's all that was. Right? So when I saw this, man, I was like, man, this, you know, I was disappointed. when I saw this. I was disappointed. I was like, man, why did you meet up with this dude? You know, he don't give a goddamn about black people. He took advantage of a mistake that Obama could have done during his administration. He didn't sign the pardon. So Trump took advantage of that. And Sylvester Stallone put a bug in his ear to do that. Because again, he didn't give a damn about no goddamn pardoning Jack Johnson. This dude got so much to worry about in terms of his investigation for his administration and you know, Russia and messing with porn stars and this and that and the third. He got his hands tied up with all kinds of crap. The last thing he cared about is pardoning, you know, a deceased fighter in Jack Johnson who tried to move a white woman from across state lines. Right? And we consider this a victory. Well, Mauricio Sulaiman, rather, the president of the WBC, he considered this a victory for humanity. When meanwhile, black people collectively as a group are still at the bottom of the totem pole. Still at the bottom. We accept crumbs, leftovers. You know, we accept. It's like we just finished cooking some food. All the food is out from the pan, and you see the crumbs and the grease and all that stuff. That's what black people enjoy. All of the crumbs and the grease and all of the small leftovers that the dominant white society gives us, and we consider that a victory. Mauricio Sulaiman considers that a victory for humanity. Deontay Wilder's considered that very important because of the Jack Johnson family in boxing, but that's a small, minute detail in comparison to the totality of black people collectively as a group being mistreated, disenfranchised, marginalized, etc. for over 500 years. And we have still not been monetarily rewarded for our ancestors' atrocities that are affecting us today. The dominant white society has a 228-year, probably more than that because that article is 2 years old, head start. Right? And again, we are we are just the laughing stock and the punching bag and the used, the used car for ethnic groups. You know, we're passed around and mistreated and misguided and everything you can think of. You know, in comparison to the dominant white society. Right? It's a joke. You know, it's a joke. So, you know, like I said, you know, I was disappointed when I heard about Deontay Wilder meeting up with Trump, and yeah, I gotta put Deontay Wilder in the coon category. I have to. You align yourself with the known overt white supremacists. You align yourself with that, and the fact that people don't understand that you are the only purpose of Donald Trump doing this, Clockwork Orange doing this, is to posture himself up, right? To posture himself up with somebody black as a photo op so that he can have something he can go back on and say, hey, you know, even though I said this, I'm not a racist, man, because guess what? I pardoned this deceased fighter and I took a picture and I had support for this black American heavyweight champion. And plus I dealt with other fighters in the past dealing with Don King. Because Trump has a history in boxing, using black folks and using the sport of boxing, particularly black fighters, for his own gain, monetarily. Because he has a history in boxing. You know? So, again, black people, we love to accept crumbs and butter biscuits and all this other this leftover crappy food that's been sitting there for goddamn years, and we accept that as a victory. You know? I would have been more impressed if, I would have been at least, well, halfway impressed if Deontay Wilder had said, listen, you pardoning Jack Johnson is a start, but we have to collectively work on things to systemically change how black people are being mistreated in terms of law enforcement, in terms of every statistical category: economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, and war. We need to work on systemic changes to make sure people classified as black are treated the way the dominant white society is treated. If he said something like that, then I would give him, you know, some clout. But you just showing up and shaking this man's hand, knowing the history of Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange, right? And just accepting this damn leftover cornbread that Trump did by signing his posthumous pardon for Jack Johnson, and Mauricio Sulaiman calling it a victory for humanity. Come on now. I gotta look at you side-eye for that. I gotta look at you side-eye for that, Deontay. You know, and you know, I'm still rooting for you to knock the hell out of AJ, but I gotta look at you sideways, and I gotta put you in the coon category. I gotta put you in the coon category. I just have to. I gotta look at you side-eye now, man. I have to. You know what I'm saying? I just have to. You know? Yeah, I mean, this is really no excuse that I can give Deontay Wilder, because he had a choice. He had a choice to not show up, or whatever the case may be. Whether the WBC, Mauricio Sulaiman, forced Deontay Wilder to show up, you know what I'm saying? Probably so. He still had a choice not to show up, to be in line with this damn white supremacist troglodyte devil, this Caucasoid devil, as in Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange. I would have never showed up. And if that means I have to be stripped of my title, so be it. I would be, now that right there, if that happened, I would give Deontay Wilder much props. Much props. But now I gotta look at him side-eye for this shit. I gotta look at him side-eye for this shit. And again, I put him in the coon category now. Because if you're willing to accept, if you're willing to accept pardoning of a deceased man, okay, I understand. You know, this was the time of the Jim Crow era. This was the time of overt racism, white supremacy. I understand all that. But if you want to accept Jack Johnson being pardoned as some kind of victory, then you have to, then Trump has to do a whole lot more regarding prison reform, regarding injustices for black people. There are so many political prisoners that are locked up today, classified as black, that are still in prison. False imprisonment, black people in jail right now for crimes they seriously did not commit, and they're still locked up. So there's a whole bunch of things systemically that has to change. And you can say this is a start. This is not a start. This is not good enough for me. This is not good enough. It's not good enough. Because I'm not going to accept no crumbs. I want the whole pie. I want the whole entire entree. Meaning reparations. Meaning reparations. So this Jack Johnson pardon is a crumb. It's a symbolic victory which black people love. I don't accept crumbs. I don't accept symbolic victories. Maybe you do, but I don't. I want the whole entire entree. I want everybody to eat. Collectively. Not just one individual, not just one family. I want everybody who's classified as black or African American to eat. That's what that means. Alright? So, anyway, those are my thoughts about this, family. Leave your comments down below about what do you guys think about Deontay Wilder visiting Clockwork Orange, aka Donald Trump. Is he a coon? Is he not? Do you respect it? Do you not respect it? Let me know your comments down below, family. Alright? Be on the lookout for more content for GMOG Sports TV. Everything sports related, I will talk about on this channel. Make sure you're locked and loaded. Subscribe. Hit that bell notification icon so you can get the latest and greatest content. Follow me on social media at GMOGmedia TV. Alright, family, until next time, Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.